Welcome to Speed Scene Live TV, the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, M&H Tires, and TheFote.com. With your hosts, Diana Mike, Bruce Barker, and Scott Lucky Hudson.
And here we are. And look at you all like watching and stuff. Hey, thanks for joining us for our second show of 2013. I'm Bruce Barker. There's Diana Mike.
Welcome.
And look at that. There's Scott Lucky Hudson.
Great to be here.
Now, there's way more people. I'm going to do one of them, and then we'll get on to, some great video and just get the show going. Hot Rod Bob Beck is in the studio.
Guys, how you doing?
All right, there you go. Hey, you ready for some video? Let's get some stuff rocking here. First of all, I want to tell you about this, because this is what's important right now. We're getting that Curry Rear Ends Hedman Hustler Headers race car ready for racing and the Speed Scene Live Nationals. I can't believe it. It's a new year. It's a new race at Great Bend. Scotty Richardson's going to be teaching a class there, just like last year, I think, right, Lucky?
Well, no, this is the first time for Scotty to be out there. He's been teaching all over the country, so this will be the debut of the Scotty Richardson Schooled by Scotty.
Nice. And also, we're trying to get Brett Wagner from Pastime to make an appearance, and I'll just do this much of my imitation of Brett Wagner. Are you kidding me? That's all I can do.
We're trying to work it out. We got a couple details. We haven't got everything squared away, scheduling, that type of thing, but hopefully, got my fingers crossed, man, it would be great to have Brett there.
That totally would. That would be a way to pass time.
That's right. Hey, we installed a brand new set of wheels from Whole Shot Wheels. We mounted the M&H tires on them, and they look great. And they really make the car look a lot better. So come on down and check it out. And also, TheFote.com has a new feature called the Social Car Club. It's the web's first authenticated car show. It's not like a guy putting up a picture saying, "This is my car."
Yeah.
No. You got to prove it's your car by going to a car show. They've actually partnered with nationwide car shows to bring together an exciting and trustworthy social competition, and cash prizes will go to the winner. So visit TheFote.com.
And the March meet's coming up. That's at the Auto Club Famosa Raceway. This March, the 7th through the 10th. You can buy your spectator tickets online right now at TheFote.com. Go to TheFote.com. That way you don't have to stand in that big, long line. Come see us at the Curry Rear Ends Hedman Hustler Header booth. Check out the new Whole Shot wheels on Lucky's Nova. We're getting a lot of hits on the website. Every time he throws those pictures up, everybody loves that car with those fabulous-looking wheels. And then, of course, next week, one of the best super gas racers in the world. Well, basically, he's probably setting up in Pomona right now. That's Tommy Phillips. And we're going to have some guys that have done electric racing cars. Electric? Mm-hmm. How fast can that be, Lucky?
Well, they're shooting for 200 mile per hour Indy.
Ooh.
Boy, you just read this stuff, and then after you hear what you read, you go, what? Electric? Okay, and they're trying to build 200-mile-an-hour Indy car. Good for them.
Now, last night I was on the Sam Oxer Jr. radio show. So
Junior?
Junior,
Not
yeah.
senior.
Well,
okay.
Hey, I tune in every Monday night. Check me out. Listen to us on his show. And coming up next week, Diana Mite will be on the show.
What?
So, we're going to be talking about Speed Scene Live and the racing and all that stuff. Now, tonight, Brian Layton's going to be on the show, and he has got the Off-Road Report, and he's got a great show tonight with Jason Voss. He just won a big race, and he's going to be talking about his trophy truck. And Hot Rod Bob, what do you got tonight? You got a great guest tonight.
Yeah, I've got Miss STP, the fastest woman on wheels, is going to be joining us tonight.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Bob. I'm sorry.
She's going to be calling in just a bit.
The fastest woman on wheels.
Yes.
Huh? You think, huh? Well, Jeff Aren, driver of the Jim Dunn Racing Grime Boss Funny Car, he's going to be on the show tonight as well, Lucky.
He's fast, but he's not the fastest woman, okay? Don't miss that.
We don't want him to be the fastest woman.
We're actually seeing some footage of him right now. Here he is racing Gary Densham. He used to drive the DHL car, and now, Diana Mite, what car is he driving?
That one right there on the camera, Lucky.
No, the Grime Boss funny car.
Yeah.
So he's got a new car. He's got a new look.
What quiz master? You put me on the spot or something here?
Well,
hear about it later.
Watch him drive around. Look at whoa!
He lost his car. Now he needs a new body.
Now he's doing road racing. It's like going around the pylons.
Didn't think funny cars could handle that well.
Yeah, and you know what? In studio tonight, we're going to have Alex, the car girl, Ruggiero. She is here in studio. Yes, boys, hold on to your cameras or whatever you want to hold on to. She is here in studio with us.
Well, let's bring her on right now.
Alex, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me again.
Alex, it's great to have you on the show again. Now this is your second appearance, so you got everything down now. You know how we do everything here. How you doing? You comfortable?
Yeah, as comfortable as you can be during a live studio, audience.
No cursing. You know, I was listening to the radio earlier, and they had like some live broadcasts of Big Bear Mountain here in California, and somebody actually said some curse words over the air. I could not believe the words they were saying and broadcasting because it was live.
Don't worry about that.
And there'll be no bullets flying either. Now, Alex, Bruce has some footage of you here in your car, and you're out, getting ready to go racing, and you taking a deep breath, getting in the zone, ready to go.
Yeah, this is from a while ago, actually. Oh, yep.
Yep.
That's the stock manifold. You can see.
Yeah, this
was nitrous.
Bakersfield.
Yep.
This is kind of where you got your start. You brought your Dodge Magnum out. You started racing. It's not all lettered up. You just got a few stickers. But you've come a long way since then. But, sometimes it's good to look back and see where we started.
Yeah, actually, you know what? It's amazing to look at these videos because it reminds me of how far we've come in 2.5 years of racing.
In such a short period.
And
really.
it feels like I just started, but then, I guess 2.5 years isn't that long, but it's amazing how different the car looks from this video to how it looks right now in the parking lot. It looks,
Well, also the speed you're traveling.
Well, yeah, you're a lot faster now, and you're going to tell us a little later tonight about you're stepping up. You're going to move into another performance level.
Yes, that's very exciting. I'll save that for later.
Before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about your last 48 hours here. You had some exciting times. I know usually people say what happens in Las Vegas stays in Vegas.
Well, yeah, I think it actually happened on this side of the border, Lucky.
It started in Vegas with a little bit of unusual Las Vegas weather.
Yeah, we just attended the PSCA Record Breaker Nationals race. Did decent. Went 4 rounds in bracket 1 and 3 rounds in street muscle. Racked up some pretty good points for the championship.
That's good. Running 2 classes.
Yes,
I heard
it's
you were
very
throwing
busy.
Some dragsters out of there, right? Just
yeah,
knocking
actually,
them out.
one of the classes that we race has unlimited electronics, and it's always a challenge when you have to race, those delay box, electronic dragsters. But it's always a really awesome thrill when the wind light comes on your side and you're thinking, well, I'm in a street car, and it's more fun than it's more fun than racing a street car, I'd say.
Are you still running the foot brake?
Yes.
Okay, so
still
you're not
foot braking. Still, I got no launch aids on that thing.
You got no throttle stop. You got no delay box.
No, but the floor is stretched right behind the gas pedal, right?
Actually, I broke the gas pedal last year. I did at the ET finals in Bakersfield. I went to launch the car during competition, and it just snapped off. Literally snapped off. It was really disappointing, actually, because we could have taken that guy out. But anyway, this past race in Vegas, we actually had a snow delay, which was unbelievable. Literally, they had to stop racing at the end of the track because you could see snow falling.
Wait, you're saying just last weekend?
Yes, in Vegas.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
In Vegas, yes.
And now Vegas is a track that's super hot. They actually run a water truck down the track and soak the track to try to cool the track down. And here you are with the exact opposite problem.
Yeah, it was like the highest temperature we had all weekend was like 55, and the lowest was like 42, I believe we saw on our weather station. It was really chilly.
Wow.
So
And he has snow tires out there?
Yeah, wrinkle wall. Yeah.
But they were calling pro snowmobiles to the lanes at one point, which was so funny.
Oh, that is funny. Well, we're going to talk some more about that. We'll talk about what happened on your way back from the track.
All right.
And, of course, we'll talk about what's in the future for Alex the Car Girl. But before we do, this weekend is the NHRA Winter Nationals. Big race. All the big guns are rolling in. It's happening this weekend. If you get a chance, go down to the Pomona Fairplex. You're going to have a great time. And we've got one of the stellar stars of the Top Fuel world calling in right now. Dynamite?
Well, let's go to line 1 and welcome Jeff Arendt. Jeff, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Oh, great to be here. Thank you.
Jeff, it's an honor to have you on the show. Now, I believe you were on the show once before with Dar and Donnie.
Yeah, that was a little while ago. I always enjoy being on.
That was talking about the nostalgia racing and all that stuff. And we've got a little clip here of some of your nostalgia background, because you're a well-rounded racer. But, of course, we're mainly going to talk about Jim Dunn Racing, Grime Boss Funny Car, because, hey, this is a whole new year for you, and you're in the perfect position to really make a big impact this season.
Oh, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Jim Dunn and John Dunn have put together a good package with Grime Boss and bought a bunch of new parts and pieces, and we're ready to go.
Now, a lot of the racers, or let's maybe say a few of the racers, have done the nostalgia thing and gone back to the pro show. What's your impression of driving the nostalgia funny car versus the high-end deal like the Grime Boss funny car?
Well, there's certainly a lot of fun to drive, but they're different. They don't have nearly as much downforce, so you're kind of driving it around a little bit. And the motor revs like 9,000, 9,500, which is probably a good 1,000 or 1,500 further up than the funny car usually runs when the big show car runs. So, and then of course you got to shift it. And Dale Pulde being the old school guy, he's got the shifter right there between your legs, so you can take your hand off the wheel, and there's no button in that car. You just reach down, shift it, and keep going.
Now, this week, it looks like you're going to get some great weather at Pomona. They're talking possible 80s by the end of the week. Not a cloud in sight for the entire weekend, so it looks like you got a perfect storm for fantastic performance at the Pomona Fairplex.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I actually live right around the corner from Pomona, so right up there on Pomona is a great track. It should be able to run quick there. I ran my career best last year at the finals. I ran that 4:03, so just want to get the Jim Dunn Grime Boss car started off, just get it running consistent, and then I'm sure Big Jim will start turning the screws up on it.
Now, do you want to mention some of the other sponsors that are involved with the race car?
Oh, they have all kinds of them on there, of course. But you'll see them all on the side of the car when we get out there. But they have a lot of good guys that are sponsoring our car, no doubt about that.
Now, you've been through a few changes over the years. Of course, you were in the DHL car before. How do you feel about the crew that's surrounding you with this Grime Boss funny car?
A couple of the guys I've worked with before, which is good, and a couple of the guys I just met the other day. But Big Jim is such a good guy. He's at the shop every day working really, really hard, regardless of the weather. And he's got it all put together. He puts everything together himself, which gives you a lot of confidence as a driver. And they got some new parts and pieces. They got Alan Johnson helping him a little bit with a tune-up to give him a good baseline. And I expect to come out of the gate running well.
Now, I was reading a post this morning on Facebook. One of the super gas racers, Brad Pierce, put a post in there where he says, "I always love rolling through the Pomona gates for the Winter Nationals. First race of the year, you get those butterflies in your stomach. It's just so exciting to know that you're on this hollowed racetrack." Do you still feel that way, or are you're such a professional level that it's just another race?
I've been around there for quite a while, but with a new team and we haven't gotten testing yet, it's going to be a little bit different. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting out there.
So you're going to have some butterflies, huh?
Yeah, I can have a little bit.
Yeah.
Not too bad. But
well, if you don't, you got to have that little bit of umph, in your spirit. It makes you more competitive. If you're if it's nonchalant, things can pass you by. So it's nice to have that little bit of umph there, don't you think?
Oh, definitely. It's good to have something to look forward to, and obviously with the other sponsors like we were talking about, we got Lincoln Technical Institute on board this year, and Kimco, of course. Mm-hmm. all kinds of good teams. There are all kinds of good sponsors out there, and it's going to be kind of neat for me because I can get to meet all these guys most of the time for the first time. And yeah, definitely got a little bit of butterflies going on. But like I said, Jim Dunn's a professional, and he puts together a great team. And when you have a sponsor like Grime Boss, I'm looking forward to doing well.
Well, I'm sure you're going to be a great representative for Grime Boss, and you know you're from the area, so your friends, your family, everybody's going to be out there watching you. It's going to be a great weekend for you, and I'm sure you're going to do really well out there. And you got to just feel good about the potential possibilities.
I do. You know, it's I'm looking forward to getting this team into the top 10. That's what kind of our goal is to start off with, and it's a pretty lofty goal. A lot of good cars out there, but like I said, with everything they've got this year and the extra investment they've made, I think we're going to have the parts and pieces to compete with them, and that's the important part.
Well, now, people want to know, some of our viewers are sending me messages while we're talking. They want to know, is there a website or a Facebook page that they can follow you this year? Where can they go to find out more about you and the Grime Boss Funny Car?
Well, obviously, JimDunnRacing.com is a good start. And, you know, on Facebook, we also have a Jim Dunn Racing deal on Facebook, and also have a Jeff Arend on Facebook. So between all of them, should be able to get a pretty good look at what's going on.
Well, I just got one more question for you. You know, when we get ready to do the show, we search the internet and we get a bunch of videos so we can show people you racing while we're talking to you. And of course, you got a brand new car, so unfortunately, we're showing video from the older cars. My question is, how come all the video I find are the other cars blowing up while they're racing you? You know, every single one is you going down the track and them going up in a ball of fire.
Do other drivers feel that they have to destroy their cars just to keep up with you?
Well, you would definitely think so. I remember I had this 1 year where I think Robert Height ran into me in Charlotte, going right by the finish line, so it was going pretty close to 300. And then I had a little incident with Del Worsham when I actually got out of the car already, and he came around the corner and the parachute grabbed one of my crew guys and threw him on top of the car and tried to take the wing off it. And then when Jim Head had his big boomer, he ran right in the back of me, and of course I never saw him coming, but I remember we had won the race, and my car chief said, "Hey, great job, you ran, 4:16 or whatever you won," and then he said, "Watch out, Head's behind you." And I'm like, what's he talking about? And 2 seconds later, something ran right in the back of me.
Well, you know, the best part, Jeff, is every one of these videos they show you after the car, and you're smiling. You're like, hey, can't touch this.
Well, you got one of the best jobs in the world, though.
Got to be something wrong with me. Must be either Canada or Tappet, one of those two things that I'm eating or drinking that's making me smile all the time.
Well, Jeff, thanks a lot for calling. We will be cheering you on in the Jim Dunn Racing Grime Boss Funny Car this weekend, the NHRA Winter Nationals. We're going to look for you in the winner circle.
Sounds fantastic.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Alex. We're going to talk to Paula Murphy, Miss STP, and we've got Brian Layton with the Off-Road Report coming up.
Hi, this is Heather. Hi, this is Denise. And we're here at Layton Racing.
Off-Road Racing with Brian Layton. Tune in every week to Speed Scene Live TV to find out what's going on in the world of off-road racing.
Coming up next, we have Brian Layton on Speed Scene Live with the Off-Road Report.
Hey guys, this is Eileen Stafford. You can see me driving the Strange Brew AA Comp Coupe, and I watch Speed Scene Live.
For over half a century, Currie rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Currie lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Currie gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Currie expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Currie's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Currie Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like correct link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Currie rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at CurrieEnterprises.com.
Whether you have a hot rod that needs more hustle or a muscle car that needs more muscle, if it's more power you want, Hedman has it. Since 1954, Hedman headers have worked harder, fit better, and lasted longer than the new guys on the block. In fact, Hedman headers are so tough, they're guaranteed for life. So log on to Hedman.com tonight, because if it's more power you want, Hedman has it.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV with your hosts, Diana Mite, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, The Off-Road Report with Bryant Layton, and The Great American Auto Scene with Bob Beck.
Oh, yeah, and it's another Tuesday night. You're live with Diana Mite in studio. I've got Scott Lucky Hudson here to my left. We've got Bruce Barker back there controlling the controls. We've got Bob, and look at, funny face Bob. And we've got Alex, the car girl. Boy, we've got a full studio tonight. Right, Lucky?
That's right. Everything's happening. And Alex, right before we stopped and talked to Jeff Loren, you were telling us a story about the snow in Las Vegas. But the real story was the trip home. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, Richard and I, we live in Santa Clarita, and we travel to Vegas for the races. And on our way home, we were pulling off the 15 freeway and started to hear the car making a kind of a funny noise. And after doing some, diagnostics, we figured out that it was not the trailer we were towing that was making the noise, but it was, in fact, the car.
Oh. So the tow car is also your race car, right?
Yes. The race car is the tow vehicle, which is incredibly unique, but it's the way that we do it.
Especially considering the ET you run?
Yeah.
How fast do you run?
It was running 1180s in Vegas, which is pretty good since it has such a high DA.
You got the fastest tow vehicle in town.
Yeah.
So when our race car breaks and we put it on the trailer, you don't have that option.
Right.
There's no braking for you.
There's no braking, and there's no trailer to put the car on.
Oh, there's always braking.
Right. Yes, and that's what happened. It turns out it looks like our drive shaft is
toast.
No longer with us.
Or just a little bit broken.
Defective? It's defective. I don't think you're going to be able to go back to the dealer and say, my drive shaft is defective. That's not going to be covered under the warranty.
It's possible that there's a part in the center of it that could just be bad. It's a pretty new drive shaft, and which is the company we got it to. It's just that we have a prototype drive shaft, and the installation might not have gone quite as well as we wanted. So the Unitrax drivetrain in Anaheim, one of our awesome sponsors, is taking a look at it right now, and we're going to be finding out what the real deal is really soon. Hopefully by tomorrow we'll know what's wrong with it.
You're stress testing the parts for them.
Yes, exactly. We're the only ones driving to and from the track as well as racing on the track with them.
Hey, I think I know what the problem is. You're racing the car.
Yeah.
It's for racing. Don't worry. The drive shaft is built for it.
This isn't Las Vegas, but just to show that you race in all sorts of weather conditions, snow, heat.
Was that lightning?
That was lightning.
Saw?
This was, I think, last spring at Famoso Raceway. It was a little bit intimidating driving into a lightning storm, but I went for it, as you're going to see here. I decided to go for it anyway.
I think you can even see lightning in the back mirror, in the mirror too, behind you. Oh, wow!
Yeah. There it goes.
That is freaky, man. Did they eventually stop the runs that night, or you guys just kept racing?
I don't think so. I think they kept going because it never rained, so they were just like, well, your car's the safest place to be in a lightning storm.
Yeah, that's what they say.
If you get hit by lightning, you've got rubber tires, so you're not. Actually, I was hit by lightning in a car once.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And you're still here.
Lucky?
Explains a lot.
Yeah. Too bad my head was sticking out of the sunroof at the time, and I was wearing a tinfoil hat.
Right.
Hey, now we're going to talk some more to Alex, but Hot Rod Bob Beck has got one of the legends of drag racing, and tonight is a special night. We've got Diana Mite here with her Curry rear ends Nova. We've got Alex, the car girl. She's got her Dodge Magnum. But where would these ladies be today if it wasn't for the ladies that sort of blazed the trail, right, Bob?
That's right, and Paula Murphy was one of the big-time racers and was a strong racer all the way through her career. She's going to be on with us in just a moment. Paula, how are you doing today?
I'm just fine, Bob. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're glad you could be here. You had an illustrious career. Sports cars, stock cars, rocket cars, jet cars. You have world records. You were the fastest lady on 4 wheels.
For a while.
For a while? Yeah, for a long while. And you were the team driver. Andy Granatelli went to Bonneville to set records, and you drove all the Studebakers.
Yes. Yes, we set a whole bunch, almost 400 USAC stock car records with various Studebakers that we had up there.
And the picture we've got on screen right now, you were sponsored by one of our show sponsors, Hedman Headers, back in the early days.
That's right, I was going to mention that.
Well, you know, we all run Hedman Headers. Alex does, I do, and it's a great company that's still made in America, quality products, and it's great that they were a part of your race program.
Yeah, they were a big help for us.
Now, when you started racing, you were in sports cars.
Right.
Making right and left-hand turns.
Pardon?
Making right and left-hand turns.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Now,
that was my favorite kind of racing, really.
Now, I've got pictures, and we're going to have them up on screen shortly. An MG TD, a Ferrari. What didn't you drive?
Well, I did drive a birdcage Maserati, and, of course, as you mentioned, the Ferrari, and down to a little tiny Berkeley, which
yeah,
you probably never even heard of.
Oh no, I've had one.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. I mean, that thing was so small you could put it in your pocket. Little
That's
fiberglass
right.
sports car. Oh yeah, that out of Britain. If I remember correctly, and I got too many cars to think back, that was a little tiny 3-cylinder or 1,000cc motor.
Yeah, it hardly got out of its own way.
Yeah, Mrs. Schiff, the spectators, the pedestrians would pass you going across an intersection.
These were cars that were owned by other people, and at that time, women just ran in the ladies' races, and so you kind of, whatever somebody offered you to drive, you hopped into, and off you went.
Now we've got a picture on screen right now with you and Richard Petty. And you set some records in NASCAR, did you not?
Yes, I did, twice at Talladega.
Wow. So
that was probably one of the biggest thrills of my life. And I had driven at Talladega, actually Daytona, which is very similar to Talladega, in a stock cars for the Mobil Gas. No, it wasn't Mobil Gas. Pure oil economy thing down there. And so I was used to driving around on a high bank track, but in a big, powerful car like Richard's, that was a real thrill.
All right, now you went from the high banks of Talladega and Daytona to the nearly flat track of Indianapolis.
Yes, I was the first woman allowed on the speedway in a race car.
Wow!
And they only let me go 3 laps, and they had the throttle blocked, so I could only go about 100 miles an hour. But, it was an honor. And
were they afraid you were going to hurt yourself if you went faster than 100?
Well, I don't know. They didn't know what I might do.
Well, but NHRA was afraid of that at one point in time, were they not?
Yes, after I got my license with NHRA, I had it for about a year or so, and all of a sudden NHRA decided that they were going to pull my license because they felt it was an unsafe category. This was in the funny car. An unsafe category for a woman to be competing in.
So it was okay in like a stock or super stock, but now you're in the pro level. That's too much in their opinion.
In with the boys.
In with the good old boys club.
Yeah, and now it wasn't just you. It was Della Wood, it was Shirley Muldowney, and yourself that got their tickets pulled, correct?
I don't think Della was there around yet.
Okay.
And Shirley was in a gas dragster.
Okay.
And Barbara Hamilton was in an A-gas supercharger, and they pulled her license.
But STP came to the rescue, if I remember correctly.
Yes, they did.
They used their clout and the sponsor of NHRA, and they got your license back, and then you were back in funny cars.
Yes.
Now
STP was my major sponsor, and without them and Andy Granatelli, I wouldn't have been able to do half the things that I was able to do.
Now, the thing that I find most exciting was that you were one of the premier drivers for a while, of rocket cars.
Yeah, well, that was a bad choice.
Yeah.
I first drove one at Bonneville, and we set some records there along with the guy that normally drove the car. And then we decided we'd build a car for me, and so we went to Sears Point for the first full run of the car. Of course, I had to get a license to drive the thing, so we did make some halfway passes. And on my first run, nothing shut off, and it kept accelerating, and the parachutes ripped off the back of the car, and off I went. And went through the thank God, there was an opening in the fence, in the chain link fence. The gate was open, so I made it through the chain link fence and got up a hill, and they judged I was probably 70 or 80 feet in the air. So I hold the altitude record at this point.
Wow. Did they make you get a pilot's license?
Well, I broke my neck doing it, so it was something that I never did again.
It's not funny anymore.
No.
What is your favorite form of racing?
Well, like I said in the beginning, sports car racing. You know, you're in the car for a while. It's not just zoop and it's over with. And it takes some skill. Not that drag racing doesn't take skill.
Hey. Careful, you got drag racers talking to you.
I know. You know, and I look back
not that
and
much skill.
I look back and I think if I was just born 50 years too soon, you know, considering the sponsorship money that's out there now, you know, we barely made ends meet back in those days, back in the, you know, the 60s. And so there's so much financial assistance available now that it's kind of too bad. I wish I would have been born, as I said, 50 years later.
Well, you look great in that fire suit, I got to tell you. I mean, that shiny suit, man, that's cool. I wish we could pull that off nowadays.
Yeah, I borrowed that.
Was that a money issue, too?
No, I didn't get paid for doing that.
Did you borrow it from a guy or a girl?
From a guy, Bobby Tatro.
Oh.
That was his little, you know, jet dragster that I drove at Bonneville.
Did you have to use the word little?
I didn't have a big suit like that. I just had a sports car suit.
Okay. Now, you got to go back to Indy in 2011.
2010.
2010.
Yeah, when they previewed the new Camaro.
And you were driving the Camaro, one of the pace cars, correct?
Yes, they let me drive around again, 3 laps. But I had a Chevrolet engineer in the car with me and 2 photojournalists. And, of course, everybody's talking at the same time. And finally I said, you guys are going to have to shut up so I can concentrate on what I'm doing here. So I think I got it up to about 100 going down the back straight, and that was about it. But just 3 laps again.
Well, was there any type of race car you wanted to drive that you didn't get the chance to?
Well, I never was interested in a top fuel car. I don't like open wheel cars particularly. I never would have wanted to drive at Indianapolis. It just didn't appeal to me. I didn't go for open wheel cars. And I don't know, I think I got to drive everything I really wanted to drive.
Good. And now you were one of the pioneers of the funny cars when they became flopper bodies or fiberglass bodied cars.
Yeah, I was the first woman licensed to drive a funny car.
Wow. You had an amazing career driving, and the cars you drove were great looking even by today's standards.
Well, you don't have a picture of my first funny car.
What was that?
Oh, it was pretty lean, so to speak. It didn't have windows. It was a Mustang, a Ford Mustang.
65.
And with a small motor, so to speak, in it. And
was it the red, white, and blue one?
Yeah, well, all my cars have been red.
Oh, okay. This one has like blue and white stripes on the roof.
Yeah, yes.
Bob has a picture of it.
I've also got a picture of it at Irwindale before the paint job.
Oh.
It was all one color.
Wow. Now, Paula, you're in the studio tonight with not only Hot Rod Bob, but my name is Lucky. I'm a drag racer. We've got Diana Might, who drives a Chevy Nova drag car, and we've got a young lady named Alex Roggio.
Yes, I saw her earlier in the show. And I wish her the very, very best.
Oh, well, thank you. I love hearing all of this information from someone who's been doing it for much longer than I have, and who's a woman, more importantly. It's really inspiring.
It seems like you're really progressing, so I wish you the best.
Paula, any new racing plans for you?
No, I'm too old for that now.
Will you come up to the March meet and hang out with some of us nostalgia racers?
Oh, I probably will.
Nice.
Well,
this weekend, I might add.
You're going to come down to Pomona?
Yes, only for the wedding, the drag racing wedding of the century.
The
you know
wedding
who that is?
No.
Hillary Will and Matt Hines.
Really?
Oh,
They're getting married Saturday night.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow.
So that should be fun.
So you'll be down just for Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, where's the wedding? No, we don't want to bust up the wedding.
No. You have a good time out there, and I hope everything goes well with the wedding, and you have a great time, and we hope to possibly see you up at the March meet up at Bakersfield.
You sure will.
All right. Thank you, Paula, for calling in. We do appreciate it.
Good talking with you.
Say hello to Danny for me, too.
I sure will.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Now, Alex, this is pretty cool getting to meet somebody that's been there, done that, been through all the changes.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted about the fact that they took her license away. I mean, I can't even imagine that something like that happening now. I can't imagine that.
It's something that women had to live through back in those days. And, the great thing is she fought back. She had a wonderful sponsor, STP. They stood up for her, and they got her license back, and she was able to continue on. Without wonderful sponsors out there like that, a lot of us wouldn't be able to race. And they really put the foot forward and did something. So, wow, my hat's off to STP.
That's even worse that they gave her the license and then changed their mind.
Yeah.
She's driving the car and no.
Maybe not. You know what? They were probably afraid of her. I mean, what was the you can go 100 miles an hour and make 3 laps thing?
Yeah, it's okay for a man to do it, but not a woman. It's totally different.
Well, what she didn't say is when she went off the edge of the track at Sears Point, they estimated she was doing over 300 miles an hour.
Jeez.
So when I said she's the fastest lady on wheels, at the time, she definitely was.
Yeah.
And even in driving the funny cars and set the stock car record, she was doing 239 miles an hour, 247 miles an hour at Bonneville.
She just had no fear. I mean, that's awesome.
My kind of girl.
Yeah, and awesome. Hats off to her. She was a single mom raising Danny, her son, and racing as well. And full life. And Danny's a neat guy. I've got to meet Paula at one of the shows coming up, hopefully the March meet. And I think that's going to be great. She's an amazing lady with a great legacy to share with everybody.
Well, I wonder if maybe we could get her to come into the Hedman Hustler Header booth and maybe sign some autographs while she's up there. Maybe we could provide some hospitality, a cold frosty beverage.
I think we could probably arrange that, and I'll talk to her.
That would be great. Now, Alex, we're going to get ready to go into the off-road report with Brian Layton in just a minute. But before we do, you mentioned Arrington Performance is a company that's getting ready to make some subtle changes to your car.
Hopefully they're going to be not so subtle, but yes, Arrington Performance is the best late model engine builder in the country. They're the number one late model builder. They build awesome, dependable, durable engines, and they also own Shop Hemi, which is part of Arrington, and they build any late model Mopar part that you can think of, as well as they have exclusive Arrington engineered parts. And I'm really, really excited. I'm going to be getting a 6.4 liter engine from them. And it's going to make the car go, I don't know, I can't say a number yet, but hopefully fast. I mean, I know it's going to be faster, I just don't know how much. But
well, you're running 11 what now?
1188s. The car's around 1165 at Fontana, and it's running 1180s in Vegas right now. So
low 11s to high 10s possibly.
I'm thinking that. I'm thinking.
That would be great. Now, can people go to shophemi.com and purchase a motor just like the one you're going to get?
Yes, they can. They build complete engines, performance engines. They have supercharger kits that you can get. They have everything, literally everything.
Nice. And so now here's the question. You don't tow your car. You drive your car. So you're going to drive your car to their shop, which isn't real close.
No, it's in Virginia, which is 2,600 miles away.
And then you're going to drive that 10-second car back?
Yes, we are. It's the true definition of a street strip car.
It's a Highway 10 dyno test.
Yeah. Talk about breaking in a motor for the track. Now, people that don't like to drive on the street, that prefer to drive in the dirt, Brian Layton, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Hey guys, it's great to be back after that long break. It seemed like way too long, but great show so far. How's everybody doing over there?
We're doing great, and we have Jason Voss on the line, ready to talk to you too. And Jason's got to be pumped because he's starting the season in a good way.
Yeah, let's bring him on. Jason, congratulations on the Parker 425, your first overall win with the Voss Motorsports truck. Tell us a little bit about it.
Thanks, Brian. I want to thank everyone for having me on the show. I enjoyed listening in there for the first part of it. And we're real excited on our first overall win, especially to start it off at the Parker 425, which had big entry numbers and I believe a record amount of trick trucks entered.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was, I think, in the unlimited trucks and Class 1s, the unlimited buggies, wasn't there like over 60 or something like that?
Yeah, there was, I believe, 69 unlimited vehicles at qualifying on Thursday before the race.
Wow, and how did you do in qualifying?
We did real well. I was real happy with our qualifying results. We qualified 4th overall and 3rd trick truck. right behind Rob McCracken and Robbie Gordon, two big names. So I was really happy with our results, and we were comfortable going into the race.
Now, not all the off-road races have qualifying, and, a lot of the viewers out there that are watching right now on Speed Scene are actually in the drag racing. Tell us a little bit about what qualifying is like for off-road racing.
Qualifying for off-road racing is huge. It's something that Casey folks at Best in the Desert kind of pioneered, if you want to say. He does qualifying for the unlimited classes at all of his races, and versus drawing for a position where your name's pretty much put in a hat and pulled, and you could be starting first or you could be starting 71st. And for a starting position, ideally the fastest guy starting first really helps with the dust, the early morning sun coming up, all big obstacles and part of battling in the race. So if you start up front, you're dust-free, better chances at staying out front all day.
Yeah. Now, Jason, you've been racing, for a couple of years, and you had the Pro Truck, and now you guys got the Trophy Truck. Tell me a little bit about the pressure when you got names like Rob McCracken and Robbie Gordon that you're battling, all day long out there in the desert. Tell me, what do you do as a driver to block that out and do what you got to do?
I tend to stay pretty calm, actually. Starting out in Pro Truck class, we got to race against guys like Gus Vildosola and Rick Johnson, and it was real good competition in the class. I really enjoyed it. I think it taught us a lot. And moving up to the Trick Truck class, racing against the big boys, if you want to say, a little intimidating at first, but got used to it. And our first year out, we had some good results. And, we got 2 first place, not any overall wins, but 2 class wins at the Silver State 300 in Henderson. So I think that really helps with our confidence in moving forward and competing against the big-name guys.
Jason, you don't consider yourself a big-name guy?
No, not at all. We're still new at this. I got to get some years under my belt and some more wins before I can move up with those guys.
Wow.
Now, how many years have you been racing altogether, though, Jason?
This is our 7th year racing off-road trucks. I raced dirt bikes before that, and my dad has raced an assortment of different series and vehicles over the years.
Yeah, I mean, you've been around. Definitely was always the name of the Pro Truck, and then, coming in with this Jimco Trophy Truck, you guys have really been doing great. I mean, who preps the car? Do you work on the car? Or what's going on with that whole program?
We're a real small, family-oriented team. We have a decent race shop up here in Northern California. It's actually at our house. We have 3 full-time guys in the race shop, and it's a family thing. My mom, my dad, and I getting ready for the races, loading up the semi, loading everything up. The guys prepping the shop during the race truck in the shop during the week. I work full-time here, but I work at Rock Quarry, actually, which is on the same premises as the race shop, so in and out of the race shop throughout the day and involved as much as I can in between races.
Wow, I mean, that's just amazing. What really got you guys from making the step up from the Pro Truck into the Trick Truck?
I think a lot of testing. In the Pro Truck, I think that's why we did so well. We spent a lot of time in the desert in the off-season in between races, suspension testing. Suspension's a big component when it comes to off-road racing. And when we moved to the Jimco, real good truck. Got to thank Jimco for that, and it just spending time in the desert, getting to know the terrain and know the truck, and developing the suspension. And we took a big step this year. We moved with King Shocks, and we're real happy with the move and extremely happy with the performance on not only their shocks but their customer service and their ability to go out into the desert and help our team get our truck dialed in.
Now, you're mentioning about the suspension in the desert, and that is a huge factor. What about the tires? Because we both run the actual same brand of tire. Tell us a little bit about what you do with General Tire.
We had a great relationship with General Tire. They were a great tire. With the trophy trucks, the trick trucks, how they are now, they're a big, heavy machine, and General Tire didn't offer anything over a 37-inch tire. Most of the guys in the trick truck field running 39s. Yeah. And we felt that was a disadvantage for us, so this year we moved up to a 39-inch tire. We're on BF Goodwrench tires. And
I wasn't aware of that.
yeah, we're on BFGs this year.
Okay, nice. Now, is there anybody else in the Jimco Trophy Truck running the 39, or?
Yeah, Steve Strobel runs a Jimco Trophy Truck, and I believe he was maybe 4th or 6th place at the Parker 425.
Very nice, very nice. BFG are great tires also, and been a big fan of them for years. Now, Jason, are you guys doing just the Best in Desert series, or are you guys going to kind of pick and choose and do some Baja? Are you going to do some HDRA? What's your plans for the rest of the year?
We're going to run the entire Best in Desert series with Casey Folks, and we're going back to Mexico this year. It's been 2 years since we've been back down for the Score races in Mexico. We're going to actually run our number 36 truck, which is a Profi truck, a pro truck converted over to a trophy truck, and we're going to run that at San Felipe 250, just because it's so close to the Mint 400 race in Best in the Desert.
Now, I used to work back in the day for Cameron Steele and Clyde Stout. That's not the same one, is it?
Yes, it is. That's
a lot of
the
time
same
working
truck
on that
we
truck.
got. Yeah, we got it from Clyde Stout, and it's been through some rebuilds. It's been crashed and rebuilt. There's probably not much the same, but it started out. It is the same truck.
I knew it went to somebody in Northern California, so that's where it went. That's good, actually. I'm glad it's in good hands. That was my baby for a couple of years.
There you go.
Yeah. So you guys are going to run the old truck then down in Baja and do a little Best in Desert. What about some HDRA? Are we going to see you there at all?
It kind of depends on how the year goes. You know, obviously we had a great start to Best in the Desert series, so that's going to be our main concentration as far as the Jimco truck goes. We will be bringing the Jimco down to Mexico for the 500 and the 1,000. Okay. And if we could sneak a HDRA race in here or there, as time permits, then we'll do it.
Nice. And tell us a little bit about your sponsors while we got you on.
Jimco Racing, they kind of got us up into the truck. Mike Jolson, great guy, got us in one. I'd like to thank KC Highlights, obviously King Shocks and BF Goodwrench, who are new sponsors for us this year. And Mastercraft and Trail Ready Wheels have been with us for a couple of years now, and I'd like to thank all of them.
Very, very nice. Well, listen, you know what? Congratulations on the overall win at the Parker 425. You beat some of the biggest names out there, and it's definitely, you got a great team. You got a great program behind you. And looking forward to seeing you guys, going into the Mint 400 and pulling out another one, and love to have you back on the show soon.
All right, thank you, Brian, and I really appreciate everything from you guys, and like to go out and get another win and come back to the show.
Jason, sounds great. Brian, great job tonight. Great having you back. We'll talk to you all later.
Thank you.
All right, sounds good, guys. Thanks.
Hey, Alex, we were talking about your adventures coming back from Las Vegas, and you mentioned the drive shaft problems. Now, what's the company that actually fixed the drive shaft?
The car right now is at Unitrax Drivetrains in Anaheim, California, and I also really want to give a big shout out to Jim Morrison from Jim's Towing, who came all the way to Victorville today to put the car on the flatbed as well as tow our 12x8 trailer behind the truck. So I really, really want to say thank you to him. And as well as the Drive Shaft Shop, they are the best drive shaft company there is.
You know what? Diana, Mike, and myself, we both run Drive Shaft Shop, drive shafts and U-joints and all their stuff
there
on our
go.
cars.
Yep, we're really looking forward to having them back on the car as soon as we get this little problem fixed.
Now, what's next for Alex the Car Girl? I know you got a lot of stuff going on. You do modeling, you do singing, you're doing detailing. What's the detailing company?
Yes, Easy Elegance Inc. is the company, and we do mostly our line right now is exterior products. Our quick detailers, the Star. It's really, really awesome stuff. As far as the season goes, we have lots of stuff. We have 25 races this upcoming year. We're really, really excited for that.
Well, let's listen right here and let you talk about Easy Elegance.
Okay.
Some people call me Alex the Car Girl because I'm so crazy about cars. I love everything about cars. I love racetracks, running the quarter mile, and carving up canyon roads.
Well, here we are in Richard's garage. It may look a lot like yours. Everything I'm going to teach you is based on real-world home detailing. I'm going to use products that you can easily buy, and I'm going to do all the work right here in this garage, or out there in the driveway, just like you probably do at home. I know that there's a lot of information about detailing out there in the world. The problem is that a lot of that information is for people who want to become professional detailers, or for people with expensive show cars. Now, if you want to be a pro detailer, that's cool. You'll still learn some neat tricks in this video. And if you are lucky enough to have a show car that you don't drive much on the street, you'll still get some great tips on detailing your other car, the one you do drive every day. I'm not going to show you how to put your car up on jacks, take off the wheels, and detail your suspension to show car level. What I am going to teach you is how to make your daily driven vehicle look 90% as good as a show car in just a fraction of the time. Whether your car is older and has lived outside all its life, or newer and gets to live in a garage, I'm going to teach you how to make it look its best in the shortest amount of time.
Wow.
Well, how about that? Yeah, Alex, you're an expert in detailing, and you've got several of these videos that teach people how to use the Easy Elegance products.
Where are these videos at? Are they on YouTube or on your website?
There's clips on YouTube. We do, little instructional videos on, this is how you use a clay bar, those sort of things. But you can also purchase the DVD online at EasyEleganceUSA.com.
And it's great, some good stuff, and you get the cars looking nice. You got a lot of stuff going on. Now, before the show, you were talking about something you're going to be doing out at Pomona this weekend. Can you talk about that, or is that a secret?
Yeah, we can talk about it. Actually, Richard and I are going to be doing a story.
Now, Richard is your crew chief?
Yes, sorry. Okay. Richard's my crew chief. He's also the editor-publisher of Mopar Max magazine. And for a story for the magazine, we're going to be doing a whole day with Jack Beckman's two crew chiefs, Terry and Todd. And, going to be doing a whole spread on them, showing basically how to tune a Nitro Funny car.
Because the Nitro Funny car uses a slightly refined Mopar Hemi.
Yes. Even though the Fords don't like to admit it, they are running Hemis.
Yes. I mean, maybe Chrysler didn't put out 8,000 horsepower. There might be a couple of changes that they made. But it is basically the Hemi design.
Yes.
So that's great. And then people can go to Mopar Max and they can read about this upcoming?
Yes, this should be in probably, I'm not sure which issue exactly it will be in, but, in the next 2 months, it will be, on MoparMax.com.
Now, I've got a question here. I'm on thefote.com during the whole show, and people are talking to me, and they're asking me questions. I've got a question here with the dyno videos that we had on earlier. Showed the car on the axle-driven dyno, where you, instead of running the tires on the tire-driven wheels.
Right.
And tell us a little bit about that and what you were doing at the dyno shop and what kind of gains you made, that type of stuff.
Basically, we were at a company called DC Performance, and we were using the chassis dyno basically to give the car a consistent tune for bracket racing. Now, bracket racing is all about being consistent and knowing what you're going to run before you actually go down the track. And, consistency is huge for us. This is the car, actually at Magnuson, as soon as we got the supercharger on the car, we needed to, make sure the computer was ready for that extra power. And as you can see, we gained 99 rear wheel horsepower, which was incredible. We love the Magnuson supercharger.
Man, that is quite a count. 99 extra horsepower.
Yes.
Just from a bolt-on part.
Yes, and it's completely OEM. It's carb legal kit. It's we're going to be using it on our new 6.4 liter.
Smog legal.
Smog legal, and it's, we're going to be keeping the Magnuson on our new motor as well. We're really, really excited about that.
Wow. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more of Alex, and we're going to do a little bit of what's going on, and then we're going to finish this show up. So stay tuned. We'll be back in 2 and 2, as Chuck Woolery would have said.
Nicely done.
Speed Scene Live, right here with this handsome gentleman that I can't help but staring at.
Thanks a lot, John.
I bail out of that?
That's okay. You did good. You did good. Thank you very much.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you. Slicks or DOT, M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online, mention the Speed Scene, and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to mandhtires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. mandhtires.com.
Everyone in the armed forces that has served to defend our great country and our freedom, all of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you. Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV with your hosts, Diana Mike, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, the Off-Road Report with Bryant Layton, and the Great American Auto Scene with Bob Beck.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Lucky. Over here is Diana Mike. Over there's Bruce Barker. Over here's Alex, the car girl, Rogio. And don't forget to stay tuned after the show and watch All Torque TV. That's right, Australia TV. After our show, and then in Australia, they're actually playing Speed Scene Live, and we've been picking up a lot of new Australian fans, so that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool deal.
You mean those good-looking Aussie guys with those sexy accents? They're watching us?
Yes.
Hi, guys.
In fact, you made a comment last week about that, and we got a couple emails that wanted me to make sure they knew that made sure that you knew that they had just the voice you were looking for.
Great. I like that.
Alex, have you ever met any gentlemen from Australia or New Zealand area?
Actually, this past spring, I was at the Frank Hawley School, and there was an Australian drag racer there. He was really, really cool. And there's this whole drag racing's huge in Australia. They've got a whole, league. I don't remember. I think it's Australian drag racing something. One of those acronyms.
Well, a ton of them come out to like the March meet and all the nostalgia races out at the Auto Club Famosa Raceway. And I love listening to those sexy voices. I could listen to them all day and all night long.
Maybe they don't want to spend all night just talking.
Well, what can I say, Lucky? Let's get on with what's going on. What's going on is brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends. Curry's got your rear end ready and waiting for you. Right, Lucky?
That's right, and we also want to thank DragRaceResults.com. That's where you go if you want to find out about the big buck bracket races. All the information on where to go, and we're going to do a lot of racing this year, a lot of cool things. But this weekend, you can see Jeff Arend in the Grime Boss Funny Car racing for Jim Dunn Racing out at the NHRA Winter Nationals at Pomona. Go on out; you're going to have a great time. The weather's going to be perfect. It's all good, so head on down to the Pomona Fairplex for the NHRA Winter Nationals.
And let's not forget March meet. That's going to be at the Auto Club Famosa, March 7th through the 10th.
Diana, where can you buy your spectator tickets?
You can buy those spectator tickets online at thefote.com. You tell them Diana Mike sent you. You don't want to wait in those long lines out there at Famosa. Get your ticket. Walk right in with that ticket. Right, Lucky?
That's right. Come see us in the Curry Rear Ends Hedman Hustler booth and check out the new Whole Shot wheels. Look at the M&H tires on there, and come on, get a sticker, Speed Scene Live sticker, Curry catalog, a Hedman catalog, and meet Diana Mike live and in person. And if you haven't met Diana Might live and in person, you're missing out,
And
brother.
you know what? Come cheer us on. Be in that fan circle and be up there in the stands and be clapping for us and cheering us. We need those fans up there in the stands to cheer for all of us.
That's right. Now, Alex, where will you be racing next?
The next race for me is Mopars at the Strip, which is at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on March 21st through the 24th. It's going to be awesome.
Probably no snow at that point in time.
I hope not. I hope there's no snow delay this time. But there's going to be full of Mopars, as many Mopars as you can ever imagine, as well as you can race there if you don't have a Mopar too, I guess.
Ooh. But
I'm only teasing. I'm a Mopar girl. It doesn't matter what you do, but I love all cars.
Everybody has their favorites,
Yes.
Yes. Now, next week, Tommy Phillips, one of the best super gas racers in the country. He's based out of Texas. He will be talking to us. We're going to talk to some people that have a electric-powered drag car who are building an electric-powered 200-mile-per-hour Indy car.
That's just crazy talk.
Crazy talk.
Crazy talk.
And it sounds like this.
That's pretty good. You should do voiceover or something.
I do voiceovers. Unfortunately, that's the only
Don't tease him like that, Alex. Hey, I want to say happy Valentine's Day early to all you boys and girls. Gentlemen, don't forget to go out and buy your ladies a little something, something. You don't come back with a little something, something, you ain't getting nothing.
That's how it works.
And remember, in today's technology, your phone is also a camera, so a card can also be a present.
Yeah.
Somehow I don't know how well accepted that's going to
Yeah. I don't think so, Lucky. You'll be called unlucky.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for All Torque TV coming up next. The best of Australia's motorsports. Listen to me and Diana Might next Monday on the Sam Oxer Radio Show. And also check out Drag Illustrated and read Curry's Sportsman Spotlight every month in Drag Illustrated magazine. And that's right, you can read it online as well.
Nice. All right, I'm Bruce Barker for Diana Might and Lucky Hudson and Alex the Car Girl Rogio. Hey, thanks for joining us for the show tonight. And we're going to do this again next week right here at Speed Scene Live. Good night, everybody.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, and TheFoat.com.